Part 1. Hello everyone, my name is Lalchan Rampasad. I am here to present a research titled Travel Through Four Heavens. But first, I would like to thank authorities of Sankhya Television for permitting me to present this research, Travel Through Four Heavens. Mathematics and science are gods. The God that everybody is worshiping is a creation. You have to worship the Creator. So I'm going to make an explanation here on it, right? Research begins with chart number 44, like 44 and 50. These two charts are presenting 5 gods. This is 5 gods here and seven sages or 7 gods. Travel through 4 heavens. These are the 4 heavens. 1 heaven, 2 heaven, 3 heaven, 4 heavens. All right? In all pujas and kathas, Pandits must present chart number 50 on Vedi. This chart is each Pandit is supposed to have this chart to present on the Vedi. They just put a set of use flour to make marks. I don't know what it is all about. I don't think the Pandit could explain that too. But this is the chart you're supposed to have on a Vedi, right? Hindu scriptures are mathematics, history, science, and are identified as gods and angels. For each formula and event in history with time, a bhajan is sung so that followers attending mandirs will learn of their history and science without forgetting. This was the ancient Gurukul system, which was destroyed by Muslims and Christians. Therefore, bhajans should be constructed with history and formulas and science. All creations constructed by Ram are gods. 12 billions are Messiah. The 12 billions, which we call the kingdom of heaven in the Bible, or Ravana in Ramayana, are gods, right? And these are 12 billions. Now, 3 zeros also, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, are also gods. Now, if you go in the Bible, Romans 1:25, it said, who exchanged the truth of God for the lie and worship and serve the creation rather than the creator. What the verse is telling you, they are worshiping the creation, what these gods, these creators created. Like, for instance, Ram and the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the 378 spirits. Now, verse says that you must worship Creator, not creations. Holy Spirit and Ram were creators in Bible and Ramayana. So, in other words, telling you have to worship Ram and you have to worship the Holy Spirit. Chart number 44 and 50. Now, in the Bible, they present a God's government. They're constructing a government. And they refer to it as God's government, right? Now, I'm dealing with the Bible here. Also, God's government is divided into 3 worlds, 3 subjects. So I'm going to present that there. Dharma Yoga. This is it here. This is Dharma. No, this here is Dharma Yoga, right? That is the literal. And then you have the spiritual world, which is Jnana Yoga. That's here. And this is the spiritual world. I always keep talking about it, but now I'm going to explain the spiritual world. And Karma Yoga, which begins here. And this drawing here of 3rd heaven and 4th heaven, these are 2 heavens which the Vedi is placed on. This Vedi is what the Pandits use. And this solid lines that you see drawn here is the Vedi. So now we are going through the spiritual world, and I hope that people can try to understand that, because I've been explaining that a long time, and nobody seems to have any understanding. I keep talking and telling to the Pandits, he's talking the spiritual world, but have no knowledge on the spiritual world. So this is an opportunity for them to refute my claim here now. All right? So, but before you can do that, you need to be qualified, and the Bible and the Ramayana present the 3 subjects for qualification. And if you could complete the 3 subjects, you are called the Sankhya Yogi, or the subject is Sankhya Yoga, right? So now we're going to the Dharma Yogi. To be a Dharma Yogi, persons qualified in literal history of Ram. This is chart number 44. That is what I presented previous, and that now is the literal history. And that covers Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga. That's right here. Not in this one. Right? were presented as first and second heavens. That is two heavens, and were literal history of Ram. So if you want to know the literal history of Ram, this is the part that you have to deal with, which is 12,000 years, right? In Gita, ranks are Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. That is if you only do this part, the Satya Yogi and Treta Yogi, Yugas, right? In Bible, ranks are Christ and prophets. Now, Janana, to become a Janana Yogi, that is here, you have to be qualified in this subject, Janana Yoga. This is the spiritual world. Persons qualified in spiritual world of Ram, chart number 50. Dwapara and Kali Yuga were presented as third and fourth heavens and are metaphorical versions of Ram literal history. So they presented a metaphorical version here in the spiritual world of the literal history. Okay? It is 7 manuscripts traveled through 4 heavens. I did not make that statement there, but in the literal history is 5 gods. In the spiritual journey is 7 sages, or 7, I have some names here, 7 rishis, 7 gods, 7 seals, 7 manuscripts. They have other names presented in the books, but I just presented a few names there, right? All of them are mainly what we are really referring to as 7 manuscripts on journey, that they are not living people, okay? Right, so it is 7 manuscripts travel through 4 heavens. These 7 manuscripts is what we're going to deal with, how it travels through these 4 heavens. In Gita, ranks are Vaisyas and Sudras. In Bible, ranks are Baptists and Nazarenes. Now, 3 karma yogi. To become a karma yogi, you will have to be qualified in this only Vedi, right? Persons qualified in birth and death world. This is called the birth and death world. Ranks are Vaisyas and Sudras. Now, everyone has a clear vision of their ranks of knowledge in these scriptures. I stated that pundits and pastors have no knowledge on spiritual world, but they continue to preach on subject. From this research, they can refute my claim. So I've given the pundits an opportunity to refute, to tell me he knows about it or he doesn't know about it, and I hope to hear from them. Now I'm going to present a brief of the creation of spiritual world. So we are dealing with this here. Now, in each and every lie, remember this is lies, complete lies. Metaphorical is lies, untrue, right? In each and every lie, there is an element of truth. Spiritual world is based on lies, but complete history is structured on events of Ram's literal history. So all the lies presented here are structured according to the literal history. So you have an element of truth immediately in it, because you couldn't make the lie without the literal history. Okay? The challenge now is to extract Ram's literal history from this spiritual world, right? You must understand that exile of entity Ram was 14 years, 14,000 years. This is it here, and I showed you 14,000 here too. Now, the entity Ram seemed to be puzzling people still. You see, this I can use a local way of Ram brothers. The first person to build the double highway there in Shogwanas was Ram. Now, if you ask anybody who built that, they will say Ram. But Ram is an entity. It's a company. And this company is the people who actually doing the work are members of that company. The company still exists. The original owners probably died, but the company still exists. So the company continues. This is the what we should say, to have the knowledge on the entity Ram that people don't have. They can't seem to come to grips with that. So we still have the entity Ram. And who is supposed to be maintaining the entity Ram? The pundits. They are the members. We are members. And so everybody is clinging on to Ram, but they have no knowledge that it's an entity. You see, they're looking at it as an individual person, right? But he returned, the Ram returned after 12,000 years from here, from that point there. To complete journey, he must enter into spiritual world. So to complete this 14th, remember he left the forest or the buildings there in Europe and in the desert at 12,000 years. That time, but he must complete the journey of 14,000 years. How can he do that now? Now, this now he has to come into the spiritual world to complete this journey. So this is how, so the spiritual world, you have to say, begins from the 12,000 years. So you have 2,000 years of what we will call the spiritual journey, right? Numerous versions by numerous authors were presented into numerous books. All must align with chart number 50. This is what I'm saying to everybody. This is what we call science. You must know the science. Now, each writer writing this spiritual will have numerous books written because people everybody is attached to the spiritual subject. And they must have 6 resurrections and 4 deaths into that beginning of the story. Now, when you want to have more resurrections and more deaths, you just add on new names and continue and say, well, you have this amount of 1,000 resurrection and whatever. Okay? So there we have it now. So this research is to analyze spiritual world. To begin, Holy Spirit appoints 7 sages. These 7 sages are 7 gods. This is comprised of 7 manuscripts. This 7 is 7 manuscripts. All right? This was constructed on first and second heavens. Holy Spirit then appoints authors, pundits, to write down all events from 7 manuscripts into a book. This is the book here. And to deliver book to third heaven. Now, first you're delivering it to the heaven. And this is third heaven here. It didn't come into the Vedi yet. Right? So try to understand that. Now I'll present 10 points here as a brief, because I've been explaining it all the time, so now we can put it into order or into the right perspective, right? 1, book is an object. From the time you take the writer, the author now, that is, if it's for Bible or if it's for Ramayana, these are the authors we're talking about, live people, writing over these 7 manuscripts. I forgot to mention, this 7 manuscript is comprised of the complete literal history. So the complete, all members that were on that journey of the 14,000 years are now presented in 7 manuscripts. So these are the 7 sages, right? So now the author of this book, let's say if we're talking about, I think I have Bible here. Let's say the author of the Bible here now. He's taken this 7 manuscripts here, where they separate, and bringing it now to pass it through the Vedi. So it is the science is to have this amount of 6 resurrections and 4 deaths. So here we go. So from the time you take the book and you put the book is an object. This is first resurrection, right? On third heaven. 2, book has no life. This is first death on third heaven. Now this happens only on heaven. It did not happen on the Vedi, right? Now 3, book separated into 2 parts to enter Vedi number 1. Last time I explained that you have to have it 6 separations and this one fall into the heaven too. So you have 7 separations there now. So you have book separated into 2 parts, and I put the 2 parts here. To enter first Vedi. This is what the first. This is second resurrection as humans. So the manuscripts now become humans here. Okay? 4, humans cannot go to heaven. You enter into second Vedi, is second death. Now, all right, 5, 7 manuscripts enter third Vedi. That's here. To become gods. This is third resurrection as 7 gods. 6, 7 manuscripts enter book again. The book that was presented here was from the manuscripts, but now it is presented the actual book that they want to construct. And in this case, we'll refer to the Bible. Now 7 manuscripts enter book, Bible, on 4th heaven. This is 4th resurrection. I put 4th heaven, but it's 4th Vedi too. This heaven, this part of this 4th Vedi is also 4th part of 4th heaven. This is 4th heaven here, and this is also part of it. So there we go now. Now, 7. Book, Bible is an object. We just have to follow the same pattern. This is third death. So the book now, this is the Bible we're referring to, and the Bible is Jesus. This is his third death. 8. Book, Bible enters fifth Vedi. That's here. Bible becomes humans. This is fifth resurrection as human. Bible enters sixth Vedi. This is fourth death. Bible enters seventh Vedi. Bible with 7 manuscripts become gods. So they become gods here. 18 forms now separate from Bible with Garuda. Enter 12 buildings, 12 heavens. And this return now to the buildings and them. Okay? Now, to have a little understanding on this part, this Bible enters Rome. And the Ramayana, if it's the Ramayana book, that enters India. This enters at 76 or 77 CE. Right, yeah. 77 CE, and the Ramayana entered at 12,000 years. So I think that I present a brief there on that, and I think shouldn't have much difficulty in following it now. I'll present, as we go along, I'll present 2 other examples.